get motivated and moving again. Yep, perfect. All right, let's get started. If you're already motivated, I see some people in the gym already over in Yatla. This is how to make sure you stay motivated in 2022 and how we can use different techniques that I've been using with my clients for over 2 decades now. You're going to hear some top CEO secrets of how to keep yourself motivated in a game that a lot of people drop out in the first 30, or let's be honest, in the first week, 30 days or 60 days. So how do we make it that it's a lifestyle, you're not going to drop out, and you keep going and you keep yourself motivated? Or if you're like Pushang, who's in the gym right now and he's already motivated, Pushang, these are going to be some extra tips when you do find yourself lacking that motivation to come back into the gym. Today's the day. I'm going to instill some great properties that I've used for myself in my coaching, but I'm sure that you'll be able to utilize in your fitness as well. And if I can just ask everybody to mute themselves, just have a little bit of background noise, sorry. All right, let's get started. I only have you for 20 minutes today, so excuse me if I go quickly through this presentation. Let me give you a little bit of a background about me. Amy, Pushang, hope you guys can see this in the gym. All right, so that's a little bit about me, my journey and my background. Today I'm going to take you through the top tips that I've got in embracing change and how we can really utilize these to move forward. And as I said, the top 5 objections that I get from clients and how to overcome these objections. So let me take you through. Here are a few of my amazing clients. You might see some familiar faces for those clients that are viewing from Australia, such as Kelly Slater, amazing surfer, or we've got Commando over here, Michelle Bridges. This is my team at Ninja Warrior, but then we've got some other great entrepreneurs like Gary Vanderchuck, Brian Adams, just a group of great people that are exquisite that I've been able to work with. Sorry, I think it's Ames. I think you might have your, I'll just make sure that you guys are muted. All right, so as I'm going through this class today, it's so important. You only retain 10% of information if you're listening to me. And I understand you guys, some of you guys are driving home, which is fine. If you take notes, you can retain 40 to 50% of the information I'm going to be telling you today. Or if you do actions and actually take action on the tips that I'm giving you today, you'll retain 90%. So that is the goal. Let's get into it. That's my quick 5-minute intro. Now I've got 15 minutes to tell you guys how to make fitness and movement a lifestyle. So when should you embrace change? Well, the only way to embrace change is to start by doing. You can't read about doing a push-up. if you can see that there, you actually have to do them. And that's something that Gary Vaynerchuk uses in his teachings, who I've worked with and had the pleasure to train with. I met him over in Hong Kong over 5 years ago. If you don't know who Gary Vee is, he's a very famous entrepreneur out of New York who has assisted a few really big companies, but also invested really early on in Uber, Snapchat, Instagram, some really big ones. So he always sees the trends that are coming and gives some great advice around how to make your business or things an actual lifestyle. And his big one is to actually do things. You have to try everything and find what you love, which is a tip I'm going to get into in a moment. So some current Fitness Australia stats to really increase why this is so important. And these come straight out of Oz Active. Australians' average time spent being physically active has fallen 25% since the onset of COVID-19. Time spent undertaking vigorous activity or leisure activities has fallen by 45% across the nation. And this is Australia, but the numbers out of the US, out of Canada, we have some people viewing this this presentation from different countries. Your inactivity levels since COVID are very similar. Only 12% of Australians actually know how much movement or exercise they should even be doing to stay healthy. So let's make sure that you are definitely in that 12% after this presentation. How much movement should you be doing to stay active and healthy? I've got one of my coaches on. Amy, how much activity should somebody be doing to stay active and healthy per week, let's say? What do you tell your clients? Are you able to unmute yourself, or are you driving?
I am driving, but I've got hands free.
Oh, you're amazing.
30 minutes a day is enough, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that 30 minutes a day, they say, just of movement. It doesn't need to be necessarily vigorous activity. It's just movement, exercise. That 20 to 30 minutes a day is fantastic. And with our clients, though, for example, that are tuning in from Vulcan right now, as you guys know, and we've really instilled this into you, is that even though you're working out in the yard and out moving steel all day for 12-hour shifts, your body has adapted to that movement pattern and that amount of movement. So you really need to go outside of that 12-hour-a-day shifts that you guys are moving constantly to see some results where you'll start to lose weight, which is why, you know, we've had some great success with Pops or Bill, who's been amazing. So Bill's lost a ton of weight, and that's because he's been going into the gym outside of his shifts in the yard. So thanks, Ames. Thanks for tuning in. Great job. So moving on, we know that physical activity right now is more important than ever. So objection number one that we see is, I can't get motivated after 2 years of lockdowns and interrupted schedules. How can I really start moving again? So here are some quick tips. The first one is utilizing the Mel Robbins 5-second rule. And this rule is that your brain will try to keep you safe. So for example, right now, waking up, it is very cold. And a lot of the excuses we get from our clients is it's too cold to be training right now and waking up early. That's because you've woken up, your alarm's gone off, you're under the covers, and it's so nice to stay nice and warm under those covers. However, that is your brain trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you nice and warm. The trick is to switch your brain off from keeping you safe. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like a rocket ship. And I want you to, at 1, push yourself out of bed. So this is what Mel Robbins has used to fight depression, to fight anxiety and stress. She was bedridden for over 4 to 5 months, couldn't leave her bed, didn't want to exist anymore, had suicidal thoughts and tendencies. And she utilized this technique to really, she used it the first day, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switched her front hemisphere of her brain that's keeping her safe to her back hemisphere, which is numerics and that sort of thing, pushed herself out of bed, and found that she was able to get up. She used it the next day, then she used it the following day, and it started to work for her. So this is a technique that you guys can use in those cold mornings to push yourself out of bed. It's the Mel Robbins 5-second rule. As I said at the beginning of this presentation, I want you guys to action these different techniques. So Pushang, I know you've got a nice 7 a.m. session with Amy, 6:30, sorry. So on those days, Thursday morning, use the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, to push yourself out of bed in the mornings, you guys. It's a great technique. What else can you do? Well, the biggest one, speaking of mornings, is you can change your morning routine right now. So it's one thing that you can take action and start into a different morning routine than what you're used to. Set your alarm 15 minutes early, push yourself out of bed with that Mel Robbins 5-second rule, and go for a walk around the block. Start your morning with some simple movement patterns. Maybe it's doing, I always say, do 10 squats in the morning. Or I know that my partner who's listening, she started off just doing 5 push-ups, and each day she would then add in another push-up. So 6 push-ups, 7 push-ups, or maybe that sounds like a lot. Maybe you just start with 1 push-up in the morning and add a push-up each day. That will start into a domino effect. So morning routines, that is huge. If you want more information on morning routines, we've got an entire guide on how to set up your morning routine. Please email us or message us to get that guide. We'd love to help you on your morning routine. The next thing, and we do this a lot at our gym in Yatla, and we're doing it more and more in our gym in Sydney, is utilizing technology and utilize the latest trends like wearable trackers, either an Apple Watch that I've got on right now, or a MyZone band, which we provide at our gyms. This is the ability to see how many steps you've made, how much your heart rate gets up, and it allows you to see how much you're pushing yourself in a workout. And if you use Strava, which is the new community app, it's free to use, Strava. If you haven't downloaded it yet, Pushang, I'd love for you to download it tonight. It tracks your walks, your runs, your hikes, your cycles, all of those great things. So it really shows you how far you can run, how far you can walk, and then it shows the distance and it tracks that. So it's really great. It shows a leaderboard, and we've got a community going. So make sure you utilize technology. That will also keep you motivated. Objection number 2 is I don't have time or I don't have energy to start caring about my health. I don't have time is always going to be a big one for us as coaches. We have to cover this off a lot. So when it comes to not having time, our 2022 time techniques, start small and progress slowly. Start with a small movement routine. For example, some desk stretches. If you can't take 1 minute out of your day to get your shoulders back and down at your desk, I mean, you're still at your desk. You could even be on a call. Just doing those desk stretches routine that we've sent out to you guys. Start small and then move into a bigger program. We've got videos in WellCorp. We've got our 1 minute workout. If you don't have time to do a 1 minute workout, you know, we're in big trouble. So time is not an issue. You have to be able to do it. So Tim Ferriss in the Book of Titans, Tools of Titans, his great book, he discussed starting with 1 push-up a day in the morning. That's all you need to do. Just start with 1. So time and motivation, really just start slow and progress slowly. You don't need to go really big at first. Remember, just hydrate. Tips on hydrating are huge. So if you tell me you can't just start by drinking more water, which this helps you lose weight, it helps you swap beer or soda, set a reminder on your phone every hour. It goes off and it says, Pushang or Kate or Amy, drink a bit of water right now. Put a sticky note on your computer. These are the kind of things that will help you get back into a great state of mind that will then lead to more motivation. So start small. Hydration's a great one. What about using some techniques like 1 mindful breath a day, or use 1 mindful movement a day? Like I mentioned, the desk stretches. Declutter your workspace. These are all actions that you guys can take right now. Set your workstation up ergonomically, and we've got a nice diagram of what's incorrect and what's correct at the bottom of this slide. Use a hand grip strengthener or a stress ball. This can help decrease the risk of osteoarthritis, but a lot of our clients, they've got tennis elbow or end up having a little bit of arthritis in their elbow. This is a great one for your fingers, your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder, because it increases blood flow. So realistically, getting motivated, starting small, these are all great tools for you guys. And then lastly, I've got add incidental exercise into your program. So stand more, sit less, standing up and moving around the office while you're at work, walk up or down a flight of stairs instead of taking the lift, cycle or walk to work, walk to the shops or the bus stop instead of driving, park your car further away, walk the dog. We always say, hey, why don't you go out and get a dog? That's a great form of exercise. Objection number 3, everything I've started, I've quit. I've never been able to stick to a program or make a serious change, right? And then we've got a girl looking in the mirror who looks fantastic, but in her mind, she looks overweight. We are always our worst enemy. And I mean, Amy, who's on, she can vouch for me, even though her and I, for example, are in great shape. We will say to ourselves, oh, you know, I could be in better shape. These aren't bad things because it does push you to work out and train more, but know that use it as motivation. You actually look really great. It's just that you are your own worst enemy in the mirror. So going back to this objection, if you've started something and you've always quit, how can we make this program stick? Here we go, you guys, get ready. These are the best of the best tips. So it's important to know your why. Number 1, you need to know why you're even starting this program. If you don't know your why, you're not going to be able to start a serious lifestyle change. So I'm going to go through some quick reasons of why you've started. Because you want to lose weight, you want to feel happier, you don't want to have a gut anymore, you've got a wedding coming up or a birthday you want to look good for, you want to keep up with your kids, you want to be healthy with your family. Your gut health, you know, you might have some indigestion, you want to just feel better, you want to move better, you want to have more energy altogether. Find your why, stick to that why. Remind yourself every morning when you don't want to get out of bed, grab onto that gut that is making you feel uncomfortable, and that will be your motivation to get out of bed. I use that a lot with my clients. So know your why. And then we need to 10x our goal. So this comes from Grant Cardone, the 10x rule. 10x your goal in mind. So if you want to look good for your friend's wedding or your 60th birthday, we need to, and you've decided, all right, I'm going to do a little bit here and there. We need to make sure you've 10x your goal. Whatever you've set as a goal, 10x it. We want to start, you know, eating healthier. It doesn't mean we still want to start slow and progress slowly, but it means that we want to make sure our goal is really big. Don't make it a small goal. You know, I know it's great to set realistic goals along the way, but I want to know your top goal, like lose, you know, 10 kg or 20 kg. You won't be able to do that in 30 days, but set your goal big. And then let us as coaches tell you what the realistic time frame will be on that. And get this goal setting sheet from us, because goal setting is key. So you know your why, you've set a really big goal, and then write them down. Once you've written things down, that makes it 50 to 60% more likely you'll stick to them. And objection number 4, and this isn't something the guys in the gym at Yatla over there say, Fu Sheng will be the first to say it. He never says, I'm too old or I can't make change now. That is not an excuse for our clients. And I know that Amy's a big believer in this as well. You're never too old to make change, and our clients at both of our gyms have really put this to the test. So that is not an excuse. And how do you make sure that that's not an excuse? Well, the first thing, get a wingman or a training partner. Get somebody that's going to keep you motivated, that is the same age, or, you know, have a coach that knows what they're doing so that they can progress you slowly and safely no matter what age you are. Research shows that if you have a support group, this leads to 26% more likely to make fitness a habit. So make sure you get a wingman, make sure you get a training buddy to stay consistent and to keep telling you, you're not too old, we can do this together. Try it all, because you can teach a new dog or an old dog new tricks, sorry. So ensure you try a variety of wellness programs, not just the ones you think you'll enjoy. Find something that you actually like to do. Why you probably tried something in the past and failed is because you got told you had to do this HIIT program or you had to do this cycling program to lose weight. No, 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 no. You don't have to do anything that you don't actually like. Now, we're not saying you're going to love it right away. It's going to be tough in the beginning, but make sure that it seems fun. So make sure that you find something you like no matter what age you are. And use mindfulness techniques. These ones are big. So use breath work. We've got a great program coming up that teaches you how to use box breathing. We've got a program on meditation coming up. And we've got a sound healing program coming up in Be Well Week. Make sure you try these different modalities and different types of wellness to help decrease stress and anxiety, keep you motivated in your movement program. And these are fantastic ones to set up your morning routine. It assists with sleep, decrease stress and anxiety, relaxation, and decreases blood pressure. It starts with one mindful breath a day. So that's all it starts with, just taking one mindful breath a day, and that can start to make the change. And that is everything. Woo, there you go, you guys. 20 minutes of my most important tips and how to take on those really big objections in a nutshell. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Thanks, Amy. Thank you guys for the comments. Remember that you can utilize these anytime, and they really do make a huge difference. Sorry, one sec. So make sure you do. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a fantastic night. This is your beginning of Be Well Week. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, because we've got how to decrease stress and anxiety, really important concepts. We've got breath work with Saran and an awesome yoga session with Michelle. So make sure you tune in for both of those. And if you're catching this live on Facebook, please do so again tomorrow. Thank you guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you for the rest of Be Well Week. Take care, and make sure you try your 5-second rule in the morning.